right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So there was a story that came out a couple days ago, I believe on Valentine's Day, regarding quarterback Derek Carr and former Raider quarterback Rich Gannon. I thought it was super interesting. Quick little side note, throughout my entire life growing up, I've always gravitated more so to the defensive side of the football. I just enjoyed watching it more. I loved the big hits. I loved intimidating the opponent, sacking the quarterback, pick sixes, just turnovers in general, goal line stand. I love defenses, the defensive side of the football. Definitely my preferred choice. I don't think that's ever going to change. But I remember when I was super young, early 2000s here, there were throughout my life, there's always been a handful of offenses that I don't want to say open my eyes, but I'll kind of, I just remember watching them and saying to myself, you know what, offense is pretty cool too. And those early 2000 Raider teams did that for me, right? John Gruden, Callahan, and Rich Gannon was a part of that, right? Obviously late into Gannon's career because he spent some time with Minnesota and whatnot before, landing with the Raiders. But he winds up in Oakland, just absolutely pops off. I think it was in 2002. He threw for over 4,600 yards, which is absolutely insane to think about. I mean, those numbers are insane in today's game, where all the rules are in favor of offense, all the rules are in favor of quarterbacks and throwing the football. And I mean, over 4,600 passing yards in 2002 is absolutely nuts, right? So Rich Gannon comes out. And by the way, Gannon has been critical of Derek Carr before in the past. In the season, he said that Carr had to step up. But he came out a couple days ago and said that he doesn't know if Derek Carr has the ability to put a team on his back, right, moving forward and to possibly win a division title. I actually have the exact quote pulled up here. He said, there are as many as 10 teams that could be in the quarterback market. Will Derek Carr be an upgrade over what they currently have? Without question, yes. But how much of an upgrade is my point? I don't know that Carr is going to go somewhere in 2023 and put that team on his shoulders and take them to a division title. So right off the bat, I understand where Gannon is coming from here. I understand the point that he's trying to make. Basically saying Derek Carr is a good quarterback. He is an upgrade over a lot of guys in football, but he's not a top 5 guy. He's not Pat Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He can't just walk into a team with no defense, no weapons around him, maybe a shaky coaching staff, put the entire team on his back and just lead them on this heroic playoff push. Derek Carr is not that guy, but he's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. I think for me, if I'm laying out all 32 starting quarterbacks, for me, Derek Carr is going to be in that 10 to 13 range. That's personally where I view Carr. Again, is he this elite quarterback that you have to make him the highest paid player? No, absolutely not. But he is not in the bottom half of the league, at least in my opinion. For some context, Derek Carr is literally one of the best Raiders in franchise history. I mean, we can talk about some of the Raiders franchise rankings here. Derek Carr is first in completions, completion percentage, passing yards, passing touchdowns, game-winning drives, fourth quarter comebacks. Derek has pretty much done it all, right? I mean, this is a guy coming in 2014. He has done so much for this Raiders organization. But to go back to Rich Gannon's point here, although I understand it, although I see where he's coming from, I think the beauty in it is that the Jets don't need a top 5 quarterback right now. Of course, it would be awesome if the Jets had Pat Mahomes, right? Obviously. But when I'm looking at what this team did a year ago in the better conference, the AFC, a great division in the AFC East, it's stacked with the Patriots, Dolphins, and Bills. I'm looking at this team's quarterback production, absolutely god-awful. I mean, Zach Wilson was just hard to watch, period. I mean, so many mistakes all over the place. There was coaching mismanagement. There was clock management problems, special teams blunder after special teams blunder after special teams blunder. Horrible play callings. The play calling, I felt like, especially towards the back half of the season, was just atrocious. Injuries all over the place, not really being consistent on the offensive line with personnel, literally week to week lineups. It was different. Young players getting hurt all over the place. 7 wins with all that. Derek Carr with the New York Jets does not have to be this elite. We got to throw for 5,000 passing yards. I have to throw for 40 touchdowns. I got to win MVP for the Jets to have a chance to sniff the playoffs. No, we almost made it last year if the team didn't just consistently shoot themselves in the foot, right? Giving the opposing teams extra possessions and extra points in some cases because of just dumb penalties, roughing the passer. I mean, I think the Patriots game where they lost in the last second on a walk-off punt return, like, we can point to so many different games and say, man, if the Jets were just better prepared here, if they called a better play there, if Zach Wilson didn't whip it into double, triple coverage, we could have had a chance. We could have won the game. Braxton Berrios hangs on to the pass in Minnesota. That's another win, right? The Jets are not far away from the playoffs here. Derek Carr would be a substantial upgrade over Zach Wilson. By the way, playing with 3 quarterbacks too last season with Wilson, Flacco, and Mike White. So I get Gannon's point. I think really he's not really – I really don't believe Gannon's being a jerk here. I just think he's being honest with what he feels. And to be honest with you, I don't necessarily think that he's like completely wrong or completely out of bounds. No, I don't think Derek Carr's a top 5 quarterback. I think he would be a substantial upgrade over many, many quarterback options in football. Maybe he's not equipped to throw for 42 touchdowns and 10 picks a season and to be in the MVP consideration. But if he's on the New York Jets, frankly, he doesn't have to be that. He just has to be himself. If he could duplicate the numbers that he's been consistently putting up with the Raiders here, even last year, right? People want to talk like, oh, Derek Carr's coming off the worst season of his career. That's true, but he still threw for 24 touchdowns. I mean, again, we could go down the list of the Jets quarterbacks that have thrown 20 plus touchdowns a season. It's few and far between. It's like once in a blue moon. So I think Derek Carr would be an absolute massive upgrade. He's currently meeting with the Jets right now. We'll see what happens there. A decision is not expected to come anytime soon. But man, if I'm Joe Douglas, I am making it really, really hard for Derek Carr to walk out that door. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.